G'day, welcome back to CruiseAway, the only show in Oz that gets you away from the everyday and takes you on exciting holiday adventures that are only ever a click or a toll-free call away. CruiseAway have been doing just that for over 25 years, so we'll hook you up with all the major cruise lines for huge adventures. And this time we're luxury sailing with Celebrity Cruises and looking ahead to 3 very different adventures in 2026. We'll be taking you over to London for a Norwegian fjords and Arctic Circle cruise on one of Celebrity's latest ships, the Apex. We also have a very special Icelandic treat for you in August 2026, taking you to the capital and on to Greenland to enjoy icy adventures before you cruise to Canada and stay in Boston. We are off to Canada and New England in our first Dream Away package, actually. It's 17 nights and it starts on the 1st of September 2026. Perfect time to mark the changing of the seasons. We'll fly you first over to Boston for a 4-night hotel stay there. Boston, I love it. Do you mind if I do it in my American accent? Boston. That's, I think, how they speak in America as well, in Boston. You can go to the Cheers bar in Boston if you're a big fan of the show. Apparently everyone knows your name there. I don't know how. You can also take the Freedom Trail there as well, which takes you right the way back through the story of Boston itself as a city. You can also see the Tea Party ships in a museum as well. Then it is time for us to cruise, and we are on board Celebrity Silhouette for 12 phenomenal nights. Well, let me tell you, if you have never cruised with Celebrity Cruises before, you have never lived. Celebrity is fantastic. I mean, it is beyond 5-star. I mean, I don't know where you are right now, but whatever the major city is that's close to you, that brand new boutique hotel that costs thousands of dollars per night to stay in, that is Celebrity all over, because they do boutique cruising like no other cruise line. And the great thing is they keep their ships bang up to date. So I am talking boutique for now. I'm not talking a boutique hotel, which was... It was lovely 15 years ago, but it's just fallen a bit behind the times. Celebrity is designed by some of the biggest names in design, and they throw huge multi-billion-dollar sums of money at designing and building these fabulous ships. And they're like the ultimate escape, really. They are a place where you can enjoy the most beautiful surroundings. I mean, everything about a Celebrity ship is really smart, really beautiful, really elegant, and really spacious as well, actually. These are sort of mid-range ships, but they're not overcrowded. There's not too many passengers there. There is something for everyone. You're not waiting around the whole time. You saw there the Ocean View Cafe, by the way, which is the buffet. Completely unlike regular cruise ship buffets, just station after station, beautifully positioned so there's no crowding going on. Amazing fresh tastes all of the way through. Look at that with the martini bar there. You've got the bartending, the flair bartending going on there. All the freshly made cocktails served up on an ice top bar. You saw before as well that they have the lawn club, which is real grass up on the top deck. You can go up there. You can go to the Lawn Club grill. You can just sit up there with your other half and enjoy a glass of wine and just look out to sea. It's the most bizarre experience, but it's real grass. That's the lengths that Celebrity Cruises have gone to create a complete escape haven for you. And there's so much to do as well. It's all the regular fun that you would have, you know, on any cruise. So they have a great nightclub, they have fabulous entertainment, they have live music, they have events that pop up here, there and everywhere. All the same fun you'd have on any other cruise line, just that little bit more elevated in terms of sophistication on board. And their entertainment, honestly, visually, is absolutely stunning. You are going to love it. You're going to savour every one of those 12 nights on board. So off we go, and we are sailing out of Boston, of course, into Rockland first. So we're going down the coast. Lots to see here. Famous for the Maine lobster down here as well in Rockland, and the Camden Hills State Park, not too far away, with great views and walks. Next, we head into New Brunswick to St. John. In Canada, we are now. And you can see the famous reversing falls here, which is a real draw. Get an excursion to that if you can. Lots of nature trails here as well, or you can head downtown. To Halifax next in Nova Scotia, where you can head out to Peggy's Point and Peggy's Cove, but Point Pleasant Park in the south of Halifax is really nice as well, with lots and lots of trails to go and walk. Next to Sydney, no, not that one, this one, in Nova Scotia in Canada. Lots to see and explore here. Seek out the Big Fiddle. It's the biggest in the world, apparently, in the port. And there's wonderful shopping nearby, but you can see lots of trails here. It's almost a little Scottish looking, isn't it? A day at sea, and we're in Quebec City here for an overnight, so 2 full days. So you can get a couple of different excursions here and see it by evening if you want to as well. Maybe wander from old Quebec full of history to the modern city itself. And it is beautiful, very, very scenic places as well. A day at sea into Charlottetown, which is Prince Edward Island in Canada. And you can see the Confederation Centre of the Arts here. Very interesting walking tours which talk you through the history of the area. A day at sea, and we are in Portland, where you can take a city trolley tour here, see the sights of Portland itself, including the Victoria Mansion, which is very historic. Head out to the Portland Head Lighthouse, which you can see as well, and you can just enjoy the most spectacular views from there. Cruise back into Boston, and that is where we will transfer you to the airport to then fly back to Sydney. This is lovely, and you are doing this trip at just the right time as well, actually. You're the start of September, so you are talking about that transition from summer into autumn, or the fall as they call it over in the States. So you can see all of the wonderful, you know, the wonderful changing colours of the landscape. It makes great pictures when you're going and visiting these places and going on excursions, especially if you're doing things like woodland trails and whatever. Watch all the, you know, yellows and golds transform in the woodlands. Incredible. What an adventure. This is for September in 2026. We're showing you now to lock in a great price. It is an epic trip over 17 nights. So we fly you to Boston in America, 4-night hotel stay there included. And then you've got your 12 nights of cruising on Celebrity Silhouette, which looks absolutely gorgeous. Your drinks package is included as well, and Wi-Fi. So that means as soon as you get those gorgeous pictures from the ship and where you're going, you can upload them straight away while you're on the ship and make everybody jealous. You'll be cruising Canada and New England in the fall, and you end the cruise back in Boston. We transfer you back to the airport for the flight back to Sydney, and we do all of that with drinks and Wi-Fi on your 5-star plus cruise. Hello. Now that's special. That's a that's far from what you would expect it to be, because the moment you step on board Celebrity Silhouette, you will be blown away by its beauty. The fact that we've topped things off really nicely with this one and added drinks and Wi-Fi is even better. That's an incredible trip. And of course, remember, you can tailor it further as well. If you wanted to make a little bit longer in Boston, we could do that. Maybe we could get you from Boston to New York to go and enjoy the city there, Boston to Orlando to go and do the parks, Boston to Miami to go and do the beaches, Boston to Vegas to go play there. So many different things you can do. Anyway, let's look at the upgrades on the cruise for this package. Remember, you can mix and match a package as much as you want to. To give you a price tag for the screen, I have to put some parameters in place. So with this one, we've got the flight over to Boston. You couple of nights, 4 nights, should I say, in a hotel in Boston, isn't it? Of course, yeah. And then you have got your 12-night cruise with Celebrity on the Silhouette, which is all inclusive as well, which is great. So you have a drinks package there. You have Wi-Fi there as well. They're normally things that you would be paying to upgrade more. You've got the price on the screen there as well if you do want to upgrade your stateroom, your cabin, to an ocean view, or indeed a wonderful balcony. Balconies are lovely, especially if you're on a scenic cruise. They are great. Anyway, any other questions? Just give us a call. Remember, it's toll free when you call us as well. So we pay for the call. Not going to cost you a cent. 1300 411 968. Incredible adventures. And I know we are looking into the future, but when you're doing a big trip, it's kind of nice to have a bit of breathing space between booking it and actually doing it, because then you've got more time to look forward to it and do your research as well. Of course, you don't need to, because all the excursions will be, and all the information about the places that you're going to will be there available to you on the ship. Right, let's go to London, the Norwegian fjords and the Arctic Circle next. This is going to be some trip, let me tell you. This is for the 2nd of June in 2026, and it's 19 nights all told. Of course, you can make it longer if you want to. And we'll start by flying you from Sydney all the way over to London in the UK. Now, this is a perfect time to spend 3 nights in a hotel in London, because we are looking at the start of the summer season in London, which is brilliant. I'll tell you why that's a good time to be in London, because lots of the big shows are in production there, and you can go and see them. So you can book a seat to go and see a fabulous show in the West End. You can go to the famous London Zoo, of course. You can walk through the parks. You can see the palaces. You can head up the Shard. You can go and have dinner at the famous Ivy restaurant, afternoon tea at Claridge's. So many different things you can do before you cruise. And you cruise from Southampton in the south of the UK on Celebrity Apex. Now, Celebrity Apex is Edge class, and she was launched back in 2020. So actually, she's still a very, very relatively new ship. And if you haven't yet sailed on the Edge class, oh my word, again. So this is Celebrity, but with a new twist, because these have been completely and utterly designed in a very, very different way. Very much about bringing the outdoors indoors. You can see the Grand Plaza there, which is really impressive. I mean, the lighting in there, just how spectacular it is beautiful. Now, the Edge class has the addition of the magic carpet that we just saw there, which at different levels, it never moves while you're on it, but it moves to different levels and becomes different things at different levels. Sometimes it's a fancy restaurant up top. Sometimes it's a bar with a great view. Sometimes it's where you get your tender if you tender into a port. Look at the spa here. I was blown away when I walked in to the spa on board Celebrity Edge, which is the same class as Apex that we're sailing here. When you look at the menu of different treatments and the corridors of different treatment rooms, you will be blown away, and you will be sure to treat yourself, I'm sure, to something special. Now, you can see here, rather than traditional balconies, they have these infinite verandas where you have more stateroom, and rather than having a balcony that you step out onto, you have a full-length window, floor to ceiling, and the top half of the window comes down and creates your balcony. It's incredible, and it actually then means that if you upgrade to a balcony, your stateroom is something like, it's nearly a quarter bigger than it would otherwise be, which is great. I mean, look at the pool deck there. It's so beautiful. It's stunning. They have whirlpools there in the corner of the pool, which are shaped like wonderful champagne glasses. Everything about this is just like millionaire's paradise, but you don't need to be a millionaire to actually sail with Celebrity. That's the brilliant, brilliant thing, because everything that is on offer on Celebrity is smart, is elevated, is at a completely and utterly different level. But you don't need to throw tens of thousands of dollars to have that wonderful, wonderful experience. Right, let's go cruising then. We're cruising out of Southampton in the UK. We have our first day at sea, and we're up into Norway, and we're in Fjordland now, into Haugesund. There's a hop-on, hop-off bus tour here you can take. You can hike with a mountain guide. You could also visit Viking Village here as well. Next, into Flam in Norway, which is one of my favourite ports. Please take the Flam Railway. You will not regret it. Take a tour where you train up and cycle down, and there's a nice surprise, which is not just a waterfall in the middle of the train journey. You will love it. Nothing like it anywhere else. Olden is just the cutest little port, let me tell you. And you can go and visit glaciers from there, but you can just wander around the wonderful fresh air valleys here, which is just superb. I've done it and I love it. You've got Arctic Circle cruising, which takes you up to Tromsø in Norway. And Tromsø up into the Arctic Circle is one of the places with the least light pollution anywhere on Earth. And of course, you know, there is every chance that you might well be seeing those northern lights come out to play. If you are going to see it, it's Tromsø and Honningsvåg where you are going to have that experience if you are lucky. And listen, They've seen the Northern Lights a lot over in the UK just over this last year. Next, we go into Molde in Norway, where you can visit the famous cathedral, the marble caves that you see there, and the Molde panorama, which gives you a view of over 200 mountain peaks. Ålesund is next. Go to the Sunmore Museum here, which has a large collection of fishing vessels and one of the oldest Viking ships here. There's also the Atlantic Sea Park too. Staying in Fjordland, we're in Geiranger next. The Geiranger Fjord is beautiful, and you can take trips up to those high vantage points above the fjords and see them from up there. See the Seven Sisters waterfalls and so much more. I mean, this is just one of the most picturesque places on earth. Our last port is Zeebrugge, which is in Belgium, and that's the port for Brussels, which again is a very walkable city. Bruges. You can go to Brussels from there, but Bruges is closer. Bruges is wonderful. It's a phenomenal city to wander around. And then you cruise back into Southampton. We transfer you to the airport in London for your flight back to Sydney. Oh my word. You are going to love the Norwegian fjords, by the way, and I really would urge you, if you are interested in visiting this part of the world, is going onto YouTube, going online and watching videos of sailing through the Norwegian fjords, because they are spectacular. They are one of the most picturesque, scenic places that you can go and visit on Earth. It's up there with Alaska. It's up there with the Arctic Circle. And you're kind of doing the Arctic Circle in this trip as well as these wonderful deep fjords. You are going to love it. If you've ever done the fjords in New Zealand, you've got to do the ones in Norway as well. So this is a great trip, and this is for June in 2026. So included, are you going to do the prices right on this one? Try and guess the price. So it's the flight from Sydney to London, 3 nights there in a hotel, and then 2 weeks of luxury cruising with Celebrity, so beyond 5-star, and this is on the Celebrity Apex, so Edge class cruising, up to the Norwegian fjords from Southampton and the Arctic Circle. You have a drinks package included, you have Wi-Fi included as well, and when you finish the cruise back in Southampton in the UK, we transfer you to the airport in London at Heathrow to get the flight back to Sydney. What's your guess? Oh, interesting. Well, this should please you then. Look. Because this is a 5-star experience and includes the London hotel stay and the flights and the transfer from the end of the cruise back to the airport for the flight back to the UK. That's stunning, isn't it? That's an amazing budget for a trip like this. Should we have a look at the upgrades then? Because remember, there was those infinity balconies where the top half of the window comes down and creates a balcony within a bigger stateroom itself. My word, even with the balcony upgrade, that is superb price tags. That's amazing. And listen, if you're going to do a trip like this, do it the finest way you can. If you've never sailed with Celebrity before, there are lots more information about the ships and the cruise line itself on our website, cruiseaway.com.au. You see the cruise ID on the top left of the screen there, just under the Celebrity logo. If you pop that cruise ID, if you catch it, pop it into our website at cruiseaway.com.au. It will give you the full itinerary and all the details of the ship as well. Although those videos really do that ship justice, let me tell you. So if you're interested in that one, then grab it today. You can book it with a deposit as well. Just talk to our team on 1300 411 968. In fact, all of these trips, by the way, for 2026, you can put a deposit down now as well, because then you can use different ways of budgeting. We've got travel pay later. We've got, the ability to pop money into your account up to your due date. Talk to the team. They'll sort it all out for you. 1300 411 968. Lovely to have you with us as well, by the way. I hope you're well. Let's go on another trip for 2026 now, this time in August for 22 nights. And we've got the Icelandic Blue Lagoon and Greenland to New England. So this is a really nice mix of itineraries, actually. 22 nights all told, and this time we fly you from Sydney over to the capital of Iceland, into Reykjavik, for a 3-night hotel stay. There is loads to see in Reykjavik. You'll really treasure the time here. Of course, you can go to the Blue Lagoon Resort, which is the geothermal resort that lots and lots of people like to go to. Of course, you might well have seen on the international news that in the last sort of 6 months, a year, my word, has it been very geothermal in Iceland, hasn't it? There's been all sorts of activity going on, and I'm sure there'll be opportunities to tour and go and see that. But the old town in Iceland, in Reykjavik, is beautiful as well. They even have botanical gardens, which you wouldn't imagine them to have, would you? We're back on board the Celebrity Silhouette, again for 14 nights for this particular package. Just imagine yourself for a second, scenic cruising in Iceland and Greenland on the lawn up on the top deck there. Just picture that moment for a second. Very different, very sophisticated. The service on board with Celebrity as well, you'll love, because everything's there when you want it. And nothing is too much trouble. And you do just feel like you're being treated the whole time. It's not overbearing, it's not over-facing service at all. It's there when you need it. Also, really friendly team on board. Remember, the team that work on board these ships, they love travelling as well. So you can always ask them, and they always have great little tips of things to do in different parts of the world. And they share their stories with you very openly as well, which is lovely. Having a treatment in the spa as well, by the way, particularly when you're at sea, with nice relaxing music. You know, if you go away with your other half and you both enjoy doing different things, a cruise is amazing, because, you know, maybe it's not for both of you sitting in a spa all day, but maybe while one of you does, the other can wander off, get involved in the sports, go and relax, go and find a little pub or a bar or a lounge or an activity to get involved in. There are lots of activities available. And remember, when you do go into ports, you don't necessarily have to get off the ship and go into the port. This is the great thing about cruising, is that you can pick and choose as you want to. So there might be a couple of places that possibly, you know, you've been to way back when, and you think, let's just stay on board. Because you feel like when people get off and they go on their tours in the ports, you feel like you have the ship to yourself. It's wonderful. You also, on this cruise, have your drinks and Wi-Fi included. So you've got a drinks package included, and you've got some Wi-Fi. Now, the drinks package you've got here is the classic drinks package, which is great, because even if you choose a drink that's beyond the drinks package price, you only pay the difference between your limit for the drinks package and the actual drink price, which is brilliant. So if it's just $1 more, you just pay $1, which is pretty good, let me tell you. You'll enjoy that, because even if you think about a standard day, you've got soft drinks during the day. You might have, you know, gin and tonic before you go to dinner. Then you'll go and see a show. Well, you can enjoy a glass of something when you're watching the show. Then you might go on and do a bit of boogieing. You might go and see another show. You know, so actually having a drinks package is great, because it means that every time you go to the bar, you're not worrying about the account all the time. So we're cruising out of Reykjavik, and we're staying in Iceland for a few ports. Ísafjordur is first. A must-see here is the big Hornstrandir Nature Reserve, which is lovely, pretty much unspoilt as well, which is gorgeous. Next, we go into Akureyri. Now, Akureyri, we're here for 2 days, so an overnight. Dolphin and whale watching, big in this region. There's a botanical gardens. It's wonderful, isn't it? You never imagine in this part of the world botanical gardens, but they are, and the flowers are very different to anywhere else in the world. And also, you know, just spectacular wildlife scenery. It's just amazing. Next, we go to Greenland through the Prince Christian Sound to Qaqortoq, which is the largest town in South Greenland, and you can wander around and look at the unique rock art here, which is scattered right the way through the town. It's beautiful. A couple of days at sea. We are now in Newfoundland, so we're heading across to Canada, St. John's, the oldest city in Canada, in New Brunswick. Walking tours here, and there's the famous Cape Spear Lighthouse, which has got brilliant views out across the ocean. Halifax next in Nova Scotia. The Maritime Museum of the Atlantic is here. You can also stroll the big waterfront here, and maybe think about taking a wine tour. Some fabulous vintages come from Canada, don't they? Next we're into Sydney, Nova Scotia, Sydney of course. The natural beauty here is stunning, very, very nice indeed. Has that very Scottish Highland feel about it. You can go to the Cape Breton Highlands here on a seasoned tour as well, which would be really fantastic. And then we finish our cruise in Boston. And Boston is where we leave Celebrity Silhouette, but we are staying here for 3 nights in a hotel. And again, I think like anywhere in America, it's just lovely to just discover and just see how life rolls in a place like this. You can take Segway tours here if you want to. There'll be lots of tours available from your hotel, I'm sure as well, and just ones that you bump into across the city. Wonderful place to be. Look again at the contrasts of the holiday here. Flying out to Reykjavik, spending some time there to get to know Iceland and all its nearby attractions, and then cruising through Iceland to Greenland to Canada and then down into Boston, staying there and then flying back to Oz as well. This is wonderful, and this is a really popular part of the world for people to cruise to as well. They do it all of the time because it's just so diverse. The whole thing is completely and utterly diverse. Now, we are forward planning here, but we're locking in a fabulous price. Your flight from Sydney to Reykjavik, 3 nights in a hotel there, plenty of time for you to enjoy everything there. 14 nights of cruising on Celebrity Silhouette in Iceland and Greenland, and New England, of course, ending in Boston. Drinks package and Wi-Fi included on the cruise. 3-night hotel stay in Boston at the end of the cruise, and your flight back to Sydney. All of this for just this. Now again, you just wonder, don't you, how on earth do we do all of that for a price tag like that? And that's because we're CruiseAway, and that's because we've been in the cruise business for over 25 years, and we're booking a lot of cruises on behalf of a lot of people right the way across the world. We are a multi-brand company, so that gives us huge buying power. So this is advanced planning and well worth doing. Here are your upgrade prices for the cruise on this one. So there are your ocean view and balcony prices. And remember, you might well want to consider an upgrade on this one because this is very much more of a scenic cruise going through Newfoundland, through Iceland and Greenland. You know, it is all about wildlife, big whale watching in this part of the world, which is quite a nice thing to do. And also it's an extra treat when you're on a 5-star cruise ship like this. So if you want to know more, again, you can tailor and and tweak that package as much as you want to. Just call us right now, 1300 411 968. These are just little bursts of inspiration. These are popular trips that people like to take, but of course we can dream up one of our special bespoke packages just for you. And remember, cruising now is about everyone as well. It's not just about couples, it's not just about families, it's about multi-generations of families who are going away together and just having the most amazing time. Well, I've loved walking you through all of those adventures. I don't know how you pick between them, but all I'll do is wish you luck because I'm out of time. All the rest of our offers are on our website at cruiseaway.com.au. Make sure you sign up on the website as well. We can send you our daily updates, let you know when the flash sales and the special offers are appearing as well. And we're here to cruise away again on Gecko every day at 10 o'clock in the morning and 1 and 4 in the afternoon. So 3 times a day, you can come back and get your fix of holiday fun. Until we meet again, take care.